John Carpenter's 1978 classic is one of the best horror movies, and definitely one of the best movies to watch during the Halloween holiday. The way the film is written allows all of the stakes in the movie to have a personal connection to either Laurie or Michael, and every single time there is a death on the screen, you feel it, and it's impactful. Pair that with what may honestly be one of the most iconic scores, and you have a powerhouse of a film. And one that it's hard to live up to, which is why all of the sequels have paled in comparison. So that leads us to 2018, and a sequel without the number 2. That's right, everybody. We're talking Halloween.
Everyone in my family, turns into a nutcase this time of year. Yeah, I mean, your grandmother is Laurie Strode. She was almost murdered.
Wasn't it her brother who murdered all those babysitters?
No. It was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
Halloween 2018 is directed by David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andi Matichak, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, and Haluk Bilginer. And this movie is a direct sequel to the 1978 film. They've sort of stated that all of the sequels and anything made by Rob Zombie are out of the window. They're done. They don't count. They're non-canonical. And this movie is a direct sequel to the 1978 movie. They went with just Halloween, which I think is interesting and very confusing because now I'll forever be saying Halloween 1978 or Halloween 2018. Or when you're done watching this review, you'll realize that I'll actually just be saying Halloween 1978 because that really is the only one that's worth watching. I'm not going to say that this movie is necessarily a bad movie, but I am going to label Halloween 2018 as a disappointing movie. It's a movie that I was genuinely excited to check out. I was even watching the first movie hours before going to see this one, which may have honestly been a downfall. It's pretty hard to reach that level in a movie, and so maybe I was sort of setting myself up for failure in this one, but all in all, I just left this movie feeling very disappointed. Now, my biggest issue with this movie is that all of the events of this movie feel very disconnected from our main characters, Laurie Strode, Michael Myers, and Laurie's granddaughter. This movie does this thing where it introduces a lot of different characters, sort of like the first film with Laurie and her cast of friends, but it doesn't actually effectively tie them back to our main story. So when events are occurring throughout this film, they feel very disconnected and very pedestrian. They sort of feel like they're just walking through the motions of doing a kill, doing a scary scene, doing something intimidating or horrifying. It doesn't actually feel like there's any sort of weight behind these actions, and so Michael Myers is not quite as intimidating in this movie as he was in the original. As a whole, I thought the acting in the movie was pretty good, save for a couple key parts, but I really loved Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. One character I didn't love particularly was the character of Ray, played by Toby Huss. He's Jamie Lee Curtis's son-in-law, and I didn't really enjoy his part in the movie. A lot of his part is humor-based, and it sort of felt out of place, which leads me into my next complaint about this movie, which is there is quite a bit of humor, and it's not particularly well handled. The tone shifts quite a bit in this movie, and it never allows you to sit on a scare, to sit on a scene. Now, the original Halloween has some goofy parts. Spoiler alert. Michael Myers at one point walks out with a sheet over his body, and he's wearing another character's glasses. It's scary in a sense because the character is not sure if the person under that sheet is her boyfriend or if it's someone else. But it's funny because it's humorous to think that Michael Myers would be going to this extreme to get to somebody. You know, he'd be doing this funny thing when he could just walk in and murder somebody. So that part is actually kind of funny. And there are some other humorous scenes in the original Halloween. But in this movie, all those scenes feel sort of misplaced, and they become a focal point at times, which I think really made the tone of the movie inconsistent and sort of strayed from the main themes of the film. There are really good parts to this movie, and I think some of the themes that they were going for would have made an actually very interesting movie. Towards the end of the movie, I was really digging what was going on with Laurie's character and the sort of role reversal that was happening. happening. I'm not going to get into any spoilers, but when you see the movie, you'll understand what I mean. And I really appreciated one scene in particular towards the end of the movie. And it actually made me very excited, and I almost got a little tingly because the scene was very well done, and it played into the themes of the film really well. There's also a scene in the beginning of the movie that I really enjoyed as well, which felt like a nice callback, but also like a thematic point. But throughout the whole movie, everything else just sort of meandered. And aside from one or two effectively scary parts, the rest of the movie just sort of fell flat. Jamie Lee Curtis is the best part of the movie, but we honestly don't get very much of her. And I can't help but feel like they had a very big missed opportunity here to make a very solid Halloween sequel. Now, one positive I do have for the movie is that John Carpenter's score is incredible. John Carpenter, Daniel A. Davies, and John's son Cody Carpenter create a very effective and excellent score that really rocks you to the core and was wasted in this movie. But I've already picked up the score and I have it on my phone downloaded, and I'm very, very excited to keep listening to the score because that is one thing that is quite excellent. All in all, I was disappointed with Halloween 2018. It's a movie that I felt lacked effective scares, an actual sense, an atmosphere of dread and horror, and a consistent theme and tone. But I don't think the movie is necessarily bad, and there is some good stuff in the movie. And if you're a Halloween fan, I would highly recommend checking it out. Just maybe not in theaters. I'm gonna give Halloween 2018 a 5.5 out of 10. So did you see Halloween 2018? What did you think? Go down in our comment section and let us know. Have you seen Halloween 1978? I hope you have. If you have, let me know what your favorite part of that movie is and tell me what your favorite horror movies are down in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out this video. Make sure to come back to Razzle for all of our amazing content. We are uploading so much stuff right now, and it's such a good time to be a subscriber. So please tell all your friends to subscribe, to like our stuff, to share our stuff, and always come back on every Wednesday to check out the newest episode of our podcast, RazzleCast. So follow me on Twitter at I am Mourar, follow Razzle on Twitter at Razzle Review, and thanks for checking us out.